I put a roof over their head. I was a father to them. I think we're about to go into part 3. And this most likely is going to be the last part. But I taught my children, I love my sons, I taught them how to be men. I told them my experiences. I told them the things they expect in life. I let them know how the world was. But I didn't teach them and tell them foolishness. Just because the world is evil and unfair, I taught them how to stand strong, be strong, take up for yourself. I didn't teach them be a pimp, a prostitute, or a drug dealer, go out here and commit crimes and get back for these evil people that's out in this world so he can put himself in a situation to be locked up in a cage like an animal, because they would love to lock us up and put us in prison, in cages, which is prison and jail. Okay? So, but I taught them how to be a man. I made sure I was that example before him. I worked. I came back, had a relationship with my son, because I say I will not be the same way with my children as my father or my mother was with me. I would not do it. I would not do it. I don't care how messed up their mothers become and all of that. I'm going to be there for my sons. Men, we need you to stand up and be true fathers for your sons. Teach them how to be men. That's how you work on the following generations that come after us. The industry, Hollywood, is ran and operated by old Caucasian men who has no type of relationship, nor can even understand what your children are going through. And I'm talking about the AKA black men, who are the true Hebrews. And while I'm saying this, let me say this, because since it's coming to my mind. There was a fella, a young man, rather old man, I don't know, that hit me up on Instagram, and he said, oh, Hebrews, like that, pretty much in a message to me. Because I said, and I make it known that we, the black men, AKA black man, African American, Hebrews, Negro, colored, all of those names and by names that we have or have had. And now I'm letting you know through my studies and research, through 4 or 5 years of study and research through scriptures, to find out that we are the true Hebrews. So I want to say to you, that young man, if you watch this video, or anyone else, you speak without knowledge. So when you're talking about something that you don't know, you can't have opinion on something when you didn't do the research, and you didn't do the study, and you didn't take the time to find out if the information is true, but you want to comment on something. That's an individual that's speaking without knowledge, speaking without wisdom, speaking without understanding. And that's what that is. That's like somebody that's studying the subject. How can a person that don't know, just like I don't know anything about the IT field, but how can I tell a person, because I have friends that's in the IT field, so how can I have a family member, brother, that's in the IT field, so how can I talk to them about their job when they went to school and was educated in it? So I can't say things. If I say things about the IT field, I'm a man talking without knowledge, without wisdom, and without understanding. Anybody can go on their emotions and their feelings, but the scriptures say, lean not to your own understanding. The scriptures say, don't measure yourself by yourself, but measure yourself by the scriptures. That's wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Man, I'm going to read this scripture, and I'm going to let you know. Matter of fact, I'm going to put this scripture in the description, because I want you to read it. I want you to read this scripture. If you do not take care of your family, if you do not take care of your children, you cannot make it into the presence of the Most High. You will never hear a preacher preach on this subject or speak on this subject. I never heard it. Men, I'm going to say it again. I wish I could repeat it 100 times. If you do not take care of your family, if you do not take care of your children, you can't make it into the presence of the Most High when you die, according to Scripture. Women, mature yourselves, you that are ignorant. When I say things in any of my videos, if it hits you, let it hit you. If you're better than what I'm saying and you're not in that space and it's not hitting you, I thank the Most High for you, and I'm glad. But if it hits you, let it hit you. But men, if you do not take care of your children, and if you do not take care of your family, you can't make it into the presence of the Most High. That's how important it is that you stand up and be a man to the Most High. But we're not taught this. I never knew that. My father never took care of me. There's countless men. I know, and let me say this, women, if you're keeping the person that you laid down with or your husband from seeing their child because you don't like him anymore or you all can't get along, shame on you. So now the blood is on your hands, woman. Why? Because we already know that the system is for the woman. The system is not for the man, and especially me being a Hebrew man. The system is not for me. The system, and a lot of you Hebrew women and women of other cultures, I'm speaking to you too, you all know this. So you play on this. A lot of you play on this. This is what I believe when it comes down to child support. If you're taking care of your children on your own and you're kicking out the money to make sure that they're all right, that they're clothed and that they're eating or whatever, I don't think that woman should take you down to child support. But if you're a man and you're not doing anything for your child or your children and you just living your life and you're not doing, then yeah, you should be taken down to child support. Let me tell you my experience with my son. I married my son's mother. There's some things I'm not going to say because of the respect of my son. And I don't believe in disrespecting a parent in front of their child. So there's some things I'm not going to say that I normally probably would say. But I'm going to say this. The time came in life where me and my son's mother, we didn't get along anymore. And we got a divorce and we separated and she went her way and I went my way. And when that happened, I still took care of my son. My son, from school out until school in every year, my son lived with me. And my stepson. Because I didn't put a difference between. They literally lived with me where they didn't even go home. And still, I was paying child support to that woman. When I went to an amusement park, a cookout, or wherever I went, my son went with me. And my other stepson, Luke. He went with me. You see? They went with me. When I bought for one, I bought for the other. Now my blood son came to me and he told me this after he became a man. And I understood, but I wish he would have said something to me then because I would have made those provisions because he told me by me being his blood father, he wished that at times that I would have took him away somewhere alone, just me and him time. And I would have done that because I understand that because we're related by blood. Of course I would have did that. And I expressed that to him and I apologized to him because I understand, you know. But in my mind, I was just always thinking that since I grew up without a father and there was a lot of discrimination and just discrimination in my family, you see, where this person ain't like my older brother because my older brother is by another father and his family, whatever, didn't like, and my grandmother didn't like because he's not, you know what I'm saying? That's a lot of discrimination. So now my mother don't like me because of my father, a whole bunch of discrimination and dysfunctional stuff was happening in my family. So I took that and everything that I went through to make sure that it wouldn't be in my family when I became a man. So yeah, things happen. People break up. People get divorces.